Hi everybody, I'm Miss Jennifer here at the Londonderry Leach Library, and I am the children's librarian here. Today we're going to be reading Jessie the Precocious Polar Bear, and we would like to thank Janice Spina, a Londonderry resident, for giving us permission to read her book today, and also a special thanks to her husband John Spina, the illustrator. So why don't we get started on this fun book about polar bears. Again, it's called Jessie the Precocious Polar Bear. Jessie is a precocious and intelligent polar bear, as you will see. He asks questions about everything, which is not how a polar bear should be. Jessie doesn't want to do what other polar bears do. He just wants to explore, learn about other animals, and make a friend or two. Jessie is a small and handsome polar bear. He wishes he could have just one day without a care. All Jessie wants to do is find a friend. He wants to have someone to play with from morning to day's end. It isn't easy to find someone to play with who is not afraid of a polar bear. Polar bears are really big. Jessie believes he is going to succeed by looking far and near. He has made this promise to find a friend loud and clear. Jessie noticed an Arctic fox passing by. He wanted to go over to say hi. But the fox hurried away before Jessie could make him his friend today. One day he had a terrible fright. Jessie went hunting with his mother as they traveled across the ice by dawn's early light. Jessie's mother had tried to teach him how to cut a hole or aglass with her sharp claws in the thick ice the previous day, but all Jessie wanted to do was explore all around and play. Jessie hadn't paid much attention to his mother in any way. And here is the hole, or the aglass, that they are making in the ice. Jessie was running across the ice from hole to hole and sliding around. He didn't notice that a seal was swimming close by under the ice without making a sound. Jessie's mother watched as the seal swam around and around. Jessie's mother was waiting to make the seal into a tasty treat. Polar bears love the taste of seal meat. And here is Mom Polar Bear watching the seal. All of a sudden, with the force of a gale, a baby seal flew out of the hole, startling them all. Above the polar bears, the baby seal did sail. Landing on top of Jessie's head, the seal did fall. Jessie was shaking from head to toe. What was he supposed to do? He just didn't know. The baby seal curled up into a ball. He hid underneath Jessie's arm, hoping to hide there and be safe from harm. The shaking baby seal hadn't yet recovered from the collision and fall. Jessie's mother moved stealthily toward the seal. She was coming closer to claim her meal. Now, do you think Jessie's going to let the mama seal have a meal of the seal? We'll find out. Jessie shook his head and held onto the baby seal. He wouldn't let his mother have him for a meal. The baby seal looked up at Jessie with a smile and quickly slipped out from under his arm. The baby seal knew he couldn't only wait for just a little while. Soon the seal felt he was free from harm. Jessie was still as nervous as can be, but at least he had made a friend, and hopefully he would meet his new friend, the seal, again. The baby seal swam hurriedly away. He wanted to tell his mother of his adventure today. He had made a new friend a polar bear, believe it or not. Jesse's kindness would not be forgotten. One day, much later, Jesse's mother tried again to teach him how to hunt and wait for a seal. Polar bears are very skilled at hunting for a meal. Jesse's mother waited next to a hole. She was lying on the ice, quiet as a mole. Jesse was busy sliding around, skidding off the ice shelf. He was still too young to care for himself. What Jesse didn't know yet was that an orca, or killer whale, was swimming by in the open water on his tail. Orcas love to catch polar bears and will chase them without fail. Uh-oh. Jesse's new friend, the seal, was swimming by and saw that Jesse was in trouble. The seal swam over to the orca to rescue Jesse on the double. The seal distracted the orca so that Jesse's mother could pull him back onto the ice. Jesse knew that what he had done was not very nice. Jesse and the seal, now relieved, rested on the edge of an aglass. There's that one, the seal, and there is Jesse. The fact that they both escaped the orca was miraculous. Jesse was sure that their paths would keep crossing without end. The seal had saved his polar bear friend. A good deed is what Jesse wanted to do. This made the seal feel happy too. The end. You see, there are the polar bear's ends. So this was a great story, not only about polar bears, we got to learn a little bit about polar bears, but we also got to learn that sometimes it's really a good idea to make friends with somebody you wouldn't normally be friends with, because maybe someday you can help each other out. So it's a really nice lesson to learn too. Some fun things that I learned about polar bears when I was reading this story and decided to look up some facts are that when we look at a polar bear, we see a white bear, right? That makes sense. But did you know that polar bears aren't really white? They're black underneath their fur, and their fur makes it look like they're white, which I thought was super, super cool, because you would never know unless you looked really closely that they're actually black. Another interesting thing that I learned is when we decide that we need to be clean, or maybe our parents decide that we need to be clean, we take a bath or a shower to clean off. A polar bear, though, does not take a bath or a shower. They roll around in the cold, cold snow, but they don't get cold. They don't mind the cold at all because they have lots of fat and fur to keep them nice and warm. We don't have as much, so we get cold, but that's their favorite way to get clean, is to roll around in the snow. And something that you might have in common with polar bears is that they are very, very good swimmers. So if you love to swim and spend time in the water, you might be a little bit like a polar bear. So that is our story for today. Thank you for listening, and we hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.